Hello dear students, we are studying chapter number 1, that is the living world, adaptation and classification. In some previous videos we have studied about the process of adaptation, and also we have studied how the plants and animals they are adapted with the different geographical regions and different climatic conditions. Students, in today's video we are going to learn next part of the chapter, and our first point will be the Darwin's theory of evolution. Darwin's theory of evolution. So students, the scientist Charles Darwin, he was a great biologist. He was well known as the father of biology, and he put a theory of evolution. So students, what is evolution? This evolution, it is again a process of development of characteristics within the organisms. Now students, according to this theory, the Charles Darwin, he studied some species of plants and animals, and he suggested that only those organisms are survive the best which are adapt themselves with the changing environment. And that was the first principle of Charles Darwin's evolution theory of evolution, and it was the survival of the fittest. Now students, here if we consider our example, these days we are facing the problems of climate change, and also we are facing some variety of diseases to fight with the diseases too. So students, we are survive with these conditions, this changing environment, if and only if when we are trying to adapt ourselves very at our best. Okay students, so this is about the first principle. Now come to the next, second principle. It is the theory of natural selection. Now what is natural selection? Again, some organisms, they are having some beneficiary characteristics by their birth. They are having beneficiary characteristics by their birth, and these characters or these characteristics are transferred in their next generation, in their next population. So this is known as the natural selection theory. It was the second principle of Darwin's theory of evolution. So this is about theory of evolution. Our next part will be the classification of living organism. Now we are going to learn about the classification of living organism. So question arises that why it is necessary to classify all the living organisms. So students, we know that variety of living organisms are present around us, and some of that living organisms are harmful to us, while some living organisms, these are useful to us. So to know them, to study their characteristics, and to identify all that living organism, it is necessary to classify them. Now students, many scientists are work for the classification of living organisms, and they put some criteria for the classification. So some of that scientists are used, or they divide all the living organisms into five groups, or they can say that groups as a kingdom. And we are going to learn about that kingdoms or five kingdoms into the next year, and this year we are only going to learn about two kingdoms of that. These are Animalia and Plantae. So students, these are two kingdoms, that is Animalia and Plantae. So all the animals, all the higher animals, they are put under this kingdom, where or the large plants they are put under the kingdom, that is Plantae. So these are two kingdoms. Now students, the scientists, they consider different levels of hierarchy for the classification of living organism. So what is hierarchy? Hierarchy, it is a method of classification. Hierarchy is a method of classification in which different levels are considered, or 7 levels are considered. And question arises that what are the levels of hierarchy? So here if we see the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species, these are the 7 levels of hierarchy. Okay, so in this way each living organism is classified. Okay students, some examples are given in your textbook. Let us see that examples here. So first is human, means ourselves. So how the human beings are classified according to these hierarchy levels. Okay, so kingdom of human, it is Animalia, phylum, it is Chordata, then class Mammalia, order primates, family Hominidae, genus is Homo, and last species it is Sapien. Now one more example we will see here, that is mango. So mango, it is a plant and it is classified. So kingdom of that mango, it is a plantae. It comes as it is plant, comes under plantae kingdom. So phylum is Anthophylla, class it is Dicotyledon, and order Sapindalis, family it is Anacardiaceae, genus of mango it is Mangifera, and last species it is Indica. Now students, in this way every living organism is classified with or by using these levels of hierarchy. Now students, next point of the chapter, that is binomial nomenclature. Let us write here binomial nomenclature. Now students, what is binomial nomenclature? So it is a type of naming system. It is a naming system of the organism, which is also called as a scientific naming system. And this binomial nomenclature system was first time invented by the scientist Carl Linnaeus. Okay, so this scientist first invented the binomial nomenclature system, which was worldwide accepted. Okay, let us see here example. Suppose let's take again example of mango. Okay, in English language this mango is called as a mango. In Marathi we called it as a amba. In Hindi it called aam. So by language to language, name of any living organism it changes. Okay, it changes, but the scientific name or binomial name of every living organism is only one all over the world, and that is Mangifera indica. What is the binomial name of mango? It is the Mangifera indica. Means here, to write a scientific name of living organism, two levels of hierarchy are considered. Only two levels of hierarchy are considered, and these are genus and species. So what are the genus and species? These are the name of living organism. Here again see example of human beings. Okay, so genus is Homo and species is Sapien. So the binomial name or scientific name of this human being is Homo sapien. Homo sapien. So one more question is there. Which two levels of hierarchy are considered to write binomial nomenclature? Which two levels of hierarchy are considered? So answer will be that the genus and species are two levels of hierarchy are considered to write binomial nomenclature of every living organism. Some more examples are given in your textbook, and these are cow. Cow, it is a common name, and their scientific name it is Bos taurus. Okay, so hibiscus, it is Hibiscus rosa sinensis. It is a name of hibiscus. Okay, so here Homo sapien, Mangifera indica. These are some examples of binomial nomenclatures of different living organisms. It was the last point of the chapter. So in this way we have completed the chapter number 1, that is the living world, adaptation and classification. You can solve the exercise in your notebook. In next video we will start the next chapter. Till then, thank you.